Stars in the sky, cards in my hand, searching for signs, lost in the sand. Whispers of fate, echoes of dreams in the dark slate. Nothing's as it seems. Flip the cards, turn around. Mysteries we have found. In the shadows we dance. Take a chance, take a chance. Ghostly figure.
Good morning again, and welcome to the MyTarot morning reflection. Our chance to take a break and take a breath. And what do? I just listen to the cards, I hear the sounds of the ocean. And then I do the classic mantra that I say every morning. Feet flat on the floor, butt comfortable in the seat. Neck relaxed, shoulders relaxed. So I hope everybody had a pleasant yesterday. And an amazing today, all that wonderful stuff. As we check in with the universe this morning to see how we're doing. Good morning. So, I talk a lot about, using intuition and which cards to use and things like that. And I remember when I started out, I have like 120 decks. And I was just looking to see which deck to use this morning. And I go through phases. And I have my two classic decks. I have my Marseille deck and my Rider-Waite-Smith. And I've noticed that for the past... I should actually just kind of count back. But I've kind of settled into a groove when I'm doing the mornings. Probably because those are my two decks I resonate with. When I'm reading for people still, I take about 10 or... God, it's got to be close to 10 decks with me. And it's still one of those things of what resonates with the person in front of me. So, again, just keeping in mind that it's about using our intuition, especially in the morning if we're doing readings together. The question is, how does it apply to me? So it is checking with the universe. It is saying, oh, I hadn't thought about that. Or, if it comes up and it's talking about family and friends, it really is the reason why we meditate is to see what comes to us. The reason why there are no coincidences. Everything's an omen, So when we're meditating, it's about trusting the high priestess in all of us. And then we look for that message. And in the mornings for me, it's using the tarot, looking for that message, and then sharing that with somebody so that maybe it clicks and says, I was a real jerk to somebody, or they were a jerk to me, but maybe I should be a little more. So that's what it is. That's what it means to connect with the universe. It's to take those harmonic strings that go out emanating from us and touches everything. And do we want them to be red and vibrating? Or do we want them to be white and blue and passive and spreading that, the white light instead of that red, vibrating stuff? Because how we treat others is how we treat ourselves. How we treat others is... And so that's kind of why I find it, for me, to be important to do the tarot, take a moment to reflect on what's going on, because I do believe how I treat other people is how I treat me. So, let's see what we have for the day. And I hope all is going well for you, Maureen. Again, I'm going to take that breath. Feet are flat on the floor, butt comfortable in the seat, shoulders relaxed, neck relaxed. Boy, what was I going through to be thinking about that? It's like how I treat others is how I treat me. Or as somebody used to say to me, if you saw somebody treating somebody else the way you treat yourself, you'd kick their ass. You would literally go over there and you would have it out with them. If you saw somebody treating a child the way that you treat yourself sometimes, would that be allowable? And I'm like, if you think of it like that, it's like, geez. You know, because we're all on a journey, and it's like sometimes it's just making sure we're cognizant of how we treat ourselves. And then for me, remembering how I treat others is how I treat myself. Which didn't make sense to me when I first heard that. So, we're going to check in with the universe. We're using the tarot. So what do I like to say? That the morning reflection is when the universe holds up a mirror, asks us what do we see, and we use the tarot to take a look at that reflection. So, and it's Friday. How exciting is that? Tomorrow I'm going to be spending better part of 5 days. So I'm going to go to Soul Aura, which is I haven't done professional reading there yet, but they're in Frederick, Maryland. I'm really excited by this. Number one, they're close to my home, and Ginger, who runs it, is really a very nice person. So I am so looking forward to spending 5 hours plus just sitting there doing this. And what am I doing? I've just created 3 stacks because each one of these is like a different thread going out to the universe. Like each one is a different thought or idea. And if we believe in the multiverse, it's like each one of these is a different path, because this stack will lead down one conversation, this stack down another. This one a totally different one. I saw that when I touched this one, the card kind of just started jumping off. So I'm going to take that as an omen from the universe. I'm going to take the bottom stack, which is what I like to think of as things that might be influencing us and we don't even realize it. And that's why we want to get in touch with that high priestess in ourselves. So I'm going to do our 3 and 1. Isn't this exciting? Every time I do a reading, it is exciting because I have no clue. And that's why I like to turn each one of these over separately, like they're the pages of a book. Because I do like that excitement to see where it's going. And the first one we have is the Hermit. So what is the Hermit? The Hermit is when we are learning something, when we're doing that meditating, when we go in and reflect. The Hermit is when we go to find a mountain and we find that sense of peace when we're alone, which he is seeking. So it's not like we have it. It's not like we find, that we found it. He goes to the mountain to look for it. And then if we go to somebody who has already gone to the mountain the way that he did, think about it. Before he grew this beard, do you think he already knew when he went up to the mountain? No. He went up to the mountain and found somebody with a beard like that and said, I'm not happy with what I know. I need to learn something different. And then eventually over time, that beard starts growing, as does that inner knowledge. So the next card is the Emperor. So this is interesting. So now we have 2 majors here, 2 of our destiny cards. So we learn by looking at the past. We learn by seeing where we're coming from. Sometimes when we're sitting there, we're reflecting on what has been. And now we come up to the Emperor, and the Emperor is looking at the Hermit. So what is the Emperor? The Emperor is somebody who has to rule the kingdom. somebody who has to run the kingdom, somebody who has to make sure that everything in the kingdom is taken care of. Sometimes the king will, sacrifice things for himself to make sure that the kingdom is taken care of. So this is that, the cards are not male or female. The cards are masculine and feminine energy. And this is that masculine energy that says, what is our kingdom? Our kingdom is our homes. Our kingdoms are where we charge in to do battle, which may be work. So it's about taking care of things. So we have somebody here, which is almost like a teacher, somebody who's gone to the mountain, and we have the emperor looking at him. So let's see where we're going with this. To the Four of Cups. So cups are spirituality, emotions, and feelings. It's the joys. It's those things that give us light. Fours are about stability. So when we have a four, fours, as you've heard me say it a million times, fours are like four legs on a table. It is all about stability. So I'm curious to see what this card is going to be, because here we have these two older cards. I mean, it's not like the kings and the minors are younger looking. These are two cards. It's about our wisdom, and it's about being set in our ways, because with the four is about stability, but cups are the element of water. Cups are the so if they're the element of water, one is that fast-moving stream because it's a new way to go. Two is we're on this river and we're taking a river and we have a Y in the river and we have a decision to make, and it's like this one here's got the tallest, most prettiest trees. It may be a little bit rougher, but I want to take that path. And three is we've taken that path and the growth that we see, and we're on there until eventually we come to a lake. And then we stay. And we stay. And we've learned a lot. But, with water, if we don't have an exit for that lake, if it gets dammed up, water wants to move. Water wants to flow, have a natural flow. And if it doesn't, water becomes stagnant. So these are two cards that show that, in some things we can be very stable. We have a certain set of knowledge that we gain. But a hermit does what? A hermit climbs a mountain and he sits still. An emperor, once an emperor is in place, they set up their rules. They find their favorite TV shows. They find their favorite simple meal to microwave, or whichever fast food restaurant's the most convenient on the way home. And they settle in for the night. And then that's their evening. Do you get what I'm kind of going at here? So I'm going to go ahead and flip over this card here, which is the advice card. And the advice card is the Pope. So, what is the Pope? The Pope is, when you think about the church, which I am not, but I'm going with this card. It's about rules, institutions. It's about doing things the way that we always have. It's about learning. It's about tradition. And it's so interesting here because this spread is absolutely going against my instincts. My instincts are about movement. My instincts are about flow. But we have 3 cards here that say this is maturity. This is the kingdom we've created. This is the things that we have. This is about finding a stable moment. So I usually describe the 4 of Cups like that lake. But what I'm seeing here, and it'll be interesting to see what other people say, but I see all these older bearded people, and again, remember, it's not masculine. I mean, it's not male and female. It's, it's the masculine energy here. It is the seeking that we have, and it's the traditions we have. I'm seeing this more as we're coming up on Christmas or the holidays or Hanukkah or Kwanzaa or whatever it is. And I see this as the coming together of all these different aspects. And then finding that settle, letting the boat sit for a while. Not letting, following traditions, making sure everything is stable. I see a coming together of all our traditions, of all our families, of everything that's happened in the past. And family is what we create. I will not see my biological family this year. But this is about coming together for that moment before moving on. And the power of tradition and the power of the coming together and then settling in for the holidays. And then just allowing the moment to be. These cards are about where we were coming from and being in control because they're looking at the past. This card is about looking at the future, creating our own traditions, creating our own inner spiritual lives and our own rules, and then just stopping, being quiet, and then letting the holidays coming up settle in, breathing. These cards are not about these are just hard, fast cards, but they're also about tradition. They're about stability. They're about the boundaries that we set. And then just sitting in them for a while. It's about creating our kingdom. It's about knowing where we came from. And it's about creating our own new traditions. About creating our own new traditions. And then just stopping and settling. We'll undam the river later. Right now, it's okay to dam the river. It's okay to sit in our boat and let other people come to us. And then, as long as we have this stability, we'll all ride out the holidays together. Because I don't know about you, but I've already spent way too much money. Because I'm the emperor. And I've spent way too much money already. So, it's about creating that solid moment, looking at where we came from, and just allowing things to stop. And with that, wow, this one literally almost hurt my head a little bit. Just because the three majors are in there like that. But it really is now just resonating how strong those majors are, and about allowing ourselves spiritually, emotionally, to just settle, have that stable moment for right now. And that we are the ones who are in control, because the Emperor is at the center of everything. And again, the advice card is about building traditions and looking in the future. So with that, I hope everybody has an amazing weekend. As here in the United States, as we prepare for the holidays, same thing in Europe, all the different holidays that are out there. And I hope everybody is taking care of themselves. And I'm going to be here again on Monday. So thank you again very much. And I will see you all later.
Stars in the sky, cards in my hand, searching for signs, lost in the sand. Whispers of fate, echoes of dreams in the dark slate. Nothing's as it seems. Flip the cards, run around. The stories we have found. In the shadows we dance. Take a chance, take a chance.